Marvel's slate of Phase 4 movies and shows have been revealed. I will touch on each one briefly with the news that's been announced, some initial thoughts on each project, and where they fit in with the other Marvel movies. This is Exasperated Nerd Explains. Black Widow is the first movie to be released in 2020. They showed some footage of this at San Diego Comic-Con, and it kind of has to be a prequel because, well, she killed herself. For a good cause, but, remember kids, suicide is sometimes the answer. Anyways, prequels featuring a dead character are always kind of tricky. They can feel like they don't matter because they cannot possibly have any impact on an upcoming film or any future narrative. Black Widow can be an interesting character, and I hope they can recapture the spy thriller vibe that Captain America Winter Soldier had and worked so well. It looks like it's at least partially about why she feels there's so much quote-unquote
red in my ledger,
and presumably will show when she decides to turn on her handlers and become good. The villain apparently is going to be Taskmaster, who can mimic anyone's fighting styles just by seeing it. He usually carries a shield to fight like Captain America, a bow to fight like Hawkeye, and a sword to fight like Swordsman, who has not appeared in the MCU. We know he has the shield, but I'm not sure what else he will use to fight, or if he will have the same abilities in the movie. The Falcon and Winter Soldier is the next thing being released, and is debuting on Disney's streaming service, Disney+. All of the Disney Plus announcements are shows or miniseries of some kind. It will bring back Sam and Bucky, as well as Zemo, the villain from Captain America Civil War. He will apparently be donning his comic book mask, which looks like a quilted sock. Presumably it will feature the Falcon coming to terms with taking on the mantle of Captain America, and Bucky's past as an assassin. The Eternals is one of Marvel's properties that I'm not too familiar with. I think I've read a miniseries about them. Other than that, I've just seen characters show up in random series. This film is apparently going to be taking place millions of years ago, because they're, eternal. So they may be able to bring in other aspects of the Marvel Universe like a young Odin or an Infinity Stone if they aren't afraid to go back to that well so soon. I'm pretty much at a loss on this one. It does have a lot of stars in it. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the next film. Shang-Chi is not superpowered and is just a very good martial artist. The intriguing thing about this one is the Ten Rings connection. In the first Iron Man movie, it was the Ten Rings who captured Tony Stark. The Ten Rings actually refer to the supervillain, the Mandarin, who typically has 10 rings, one on each finger, and each one having a different magical power. In Iron Man 3, you may remember the Mandarin was revealed to be an actor and a creation of the evil organization AIM. Marvel Studios used to release extra short films with their DVD releases, and one of them indicated that there was actually a real Mandarin out there, and he was coming after Ben Kingsley's character for impersonating him. Loki will be getting his own show on Disney+, which probably will follow him in his divergent timeline that was created in Avengers Endgame. But it could be a prequel or some other concept. We don't really know much about that one right now. WandaVision is another Disney Plus show. Given Vision is dead, this means Wanda will likely be shown to have a higher power level like she has in the comics, and may bring him back to life. It's being presented like it's a 1950s style cookie cutter family in the suburbs. Given her power set and history in Marvel Comics, this may be real or an illusion. It's really hard to tell. She may actually bring Vision back from the dead. This show leads into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which Wanda will also be starring in. This could be something completely different from WandaVision, or she could be creating alternate multiverse realities with her powers and causing all kinds of problems. Supposedly, this will be the first scary Marvel movie, so it could just have something to do with Nightmare or some other Doctor Strange villain. The Scarlet Witch's powers in the comics are a type of magic, so she could just be working alongside Doctor Strange and not actually part of the inciting incident in the film. What If is the next series coming out. The comics are usually one-shots exploring an alternative history of Marvel Comics, like what if Spider-Man became the Punisher, or what if Captain America had never been unfrozen. It's another Disney Plus show, and it's animated, so it can do just about anything. Because of that, the stories usually have no weight or long-term meaning, so it's something that comes back every once in a while but then goes away again because it's only as sustainable as the concepts are interesting. Poor Hawkeye. Instead of his own movie, he just gets relegated to a Disney Plus show. It will apparently introduce Kate Bishop, who is a young woman who goes by the codename Hawkeye in the comics. In her defense, Clint Barton was dead when she took the codename. He's the one that had to come back to life. So in Marvel Comics, there are two Hawkeyes running around. With all of the Avengers basically retiring, this could be Jeremy Renner's passing the torch and leaving the hero world behind. Thor: Love and Thunder is the last movie of Phase 4. it will bring back Natalie Portman as Jane Foster and make her a female Thor. The only reason this may not be awful is because it's with Taika Waititi, who is a good filmmaker. I don't like this in concept for a few reasons. For one, it makes it seem like they are taking Thor out of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie for this film, and that was about the only thing I was excited about being set up in Avengers Endgame. And by Thor, I mean Chris Hemsworth, because to my second point, Thor is his name and not a title like Captain America that can be passed on from person to person.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power
and name
of Thor.
I know this has happened in the comics, and I think it was weird then too. It gets confusing, and also why not just be a powered up Jane Foster? 3, and the most egregious to me story-wise, Jane Foster has not been set up as someone who would be worthy in the other films. She is shown as someone obsessed with her scientific research, to the point of allowing Thor, who she thought was a handsome crazy person, to endanger himself to get it back. And again to the point of endangering others by not wanting to make anomalies she discovered public.
Tell me you didn't call the police.
What was I supposed to do?
Not call the police?
She shows bravery in the films from time to time, yes, but not to the point of being considered worthy given how it was built up in the other films. It really kind of negates the dramatic moment of Captain America being worthy in Avengers Endgame, especially when we know all these other heroes weren't. Then again, Mjolnir was destroyed, so maybe this is a new one and it's not as picky. There have been other things announced, but they will be coming out in a later phase. Blade is coming back, there will be a new Fantastic Four movie, and the X-Men will be joining the Marvel Universe. The previously discussed Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will likely be in Phase 5 as well. Overall, I think Phase 4 seems underwhelming, though it's admittedly hard to follow up a 10-year build-up towards Avengers Endgame. This is also the first phase not to end in an Avengers movie. The epilogue to the ongoing story that Spider-Man Far From Home was notwithstanding. It feels a little meandering, but maybe an ongoing arc will be revealed in the films. Then again, who's to say they have to have something larger set up? That's been the MCU's MO, but that doesn't mean that they will always do that. Some complaints about the other films are the scenes that are just setting up something else instead of moving the story along in the moment. Most of these are years off, so we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on Phase 4? Which ones are you looking forward to the most? Which ones do you think may not be very good? Please check out my other videos, like this video, subscribe to my channel. Bye.